Hi friends! Today is a partial look at Mcgrath Labs Divine Blush Duo and Glow Collection. I just received PR today. This is a first impressions and I was sent two shades, Divine Rose 2 and Paradise Glow. I did order 3 shades on launch day as well as 1 glow shade. I don't know when those will arrive, but I'll hop on again to do more swatches and comparisons to the previously released Divine Blush collection. Was that last year? Shame on me for not remembering. And if it's your first time here, hi, I'm Alicia. I love Pat McGrath. I have a lot of her makeup, almost all of her makeup. I also cover a lot of her, if not all, her motherships. And with me being a fan and receiving PR, that is the housekeeping, right? I think, you could decide for yourself if you want to watch this video or not. Nevertheless, I'm still happy for the opportunity. And yeah, we're just going to get into the swatches, try these shades on the cheeks, and compare them to the, again, already existing Divine blush shades. For the product details, each blush duo retails for $44 and the highlighter for $48. These are limited edition. Now, I would take that with a grain of salt, as we have seen previously with Mcgrath Labs releasing several sales this year. These might go on sale. I don't know. Maybe they won't. Who knows? But I think when we see these in action, maybe we won't have as much FOMO as we would think if we didn't buy these. Currently, this collection is available on mcgrathlabs.com and will be available on Sephora on June 17th and currently available on Selfridges. We have 6 duo shades in all and 4 glow shades in all, and we had experienced the glow highlighter, I think, upon the release of the original Divine blush collection in the shade Golden Nectar. This was the oil infused pressed powder highlighter that I compared to the Divine Rose highlighter. Personally, my favorite, and I'm sorry I don't have one of the new shades for the glow release this time around. I ordered, I believe it was the Moonlit shade. I do have Venus Nectar, which originally released in the holiday collection. This is one of the blush trios, specifically Amber Allure with Love Struck and Paradise Venus. Now with the 6 duo shades, I think these are new colors or different colors from what already exists in the Divine Glow collection, but we'll take a look again with the comparison swatches. Now, as far as what the expectations are for these blush duos: Petal Soft Touch, Feather Light, Buildable and Blendable, Mistake Proof Application, Vivid Color Purity, Demi Matte and Satin Pearl finishes, All Day Wear, Soft Focus Effect, 9.7 grams of product or 0.34 ounces of product. That was for the blush duos, and now we have the Divine Glow highlighter. Infused with botanical oils, high intensity glow, micro perfecting finish, 4.9 grams or 0.17 ounces of product. And here are the fresh blush duos again in Divine Rose 2 and Paradise Glow. I was very excited to hop into Paradise Glow. I recently uploaded a terracotta blush faves video where I covered many of my favorite terracotta hued blushes in my collection, and this appeared that it would fit right into that category, and Paradise Glow looks like it would fit in right in there. For the blush duos in my order, I picked up Night Bloom and Cosmic Coral alongside Paradise Glow. So I'll have an extra Paradise Glow. Maybe I'll give that one away. Who knows if anyone wants it. Oh, and of course, both these products are made in Italy. The blush duos have an 18-month suggested shelf life. I don't have a box for the highlighter, but judging from this label of Golden Nectar, it also says 18 months. Could only assume that the new shades will have the same shelf life. Now the intro and details out the way, I think it's time for you to get in a little closer. That's enough. Let's start off with Divine Rose 2. Next to the original Divine Rose, and interesting, I do think Divine Rose reflects the coolness of the Divine Rose palette, and Divine Rose 2 a little more punch to reflect, of course, what exists in the Divine Rose 2 Mothership A palette. Swatching with this hand because the nail polish didn't chip on it yet. Barely. Here is the more vibrant pink shade and the warmer, like, I guess, corally pink shade. So here is pink shade number 1, pink shade number 2. Let's just swirl it all together now. And what do we get? Pretty much, I think, the more dominant, like, vibrant magenta color here, which kind of reminds me of Cherish, I think. Cherish, for me, definitely had, or has rather, a similar feel. Cherish looks a bit cooler. Divine Rose 2, I think, has a little more berry in it. Is it Cherish or Love Struck? I think Love Struck was the one that probably has a similar feel to it. Let's see. Yeah, I could see that maybe Love Struck has a little more berry and Divine Rose 2 a little more of the pink. Now it's time to go into Paradise Glow. Let's now swatch, I guess, the more like terracotta shade. And this pearly beige. Okay, here we have the rose side, oh yes. And here we have the beigey side. Swirl it all together now. And the mixed shade. So it seems like this shade kind of dials down the intensity of the flower side shade, so you can see that. Question of the day, does this look like our beloved Paradise Venus? Here they are side by side. I think this is the Paradise Venus shade, perhaps. I don't know. Is that confirmed anywhere? So here is Paradise Venus. They might be the same. I'm not entirely sure. They could be the same. Maybe this has a little more red, or maybe I just picked up more pigment. Who really knows? And why not? I forgot to go with the Divine Rose shade. So the first one here, definitely like, it picks up more lilac than the Divine Rose 2 duo. Okay, I have the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation on. I purchased a new shade at Syracuse. I think this is more where my complexion is at the moment. We're going in with no other than Sonia G's Hinoki set. This is the small Hinoki brush, which I think more than appropriate of a size to then just pinpoint where we want to get in here. So now tackling the more terracotta side, and already we see the sculpt happen and why I just adore these types of shades. The fact that we could get a little bit of that bronze but that sunburnt look, as I had exhaustively described in that video. The formula is consistent with what we found in the Divine Blush collection. Silky to the touch, very air light as the product details describe the formula to be, and it just seems or looks skin-like in finish. It's remarkable, and I admire this blush formula. I've been using it ever since, as you see. Now tackling the lighter side and having a little bit of that toastiness there, but beware, once you swirl, you're gonna get some of that deeper color into the lighter part of the pan. So if you're looking to separate these, you might have to take a tissue and wipe that portion if you want to get a truer representation of the color. Hold on, let me do that right now. I think that would be the only way where you can make that distinct gradient if you wanted. Well, as you can see, our cheeks are nice and flushed and burnt. Going into the Divine Rose side, these colors I wouldn't necessarily sculpt with. This probably will be more of a flush effect on me, so I will proceed to then apply this on my cheeks in a more flush fashion versus Paradise Glow. Here, Paradise Glow, as you can see, was more of like a sculpting moment with a little bit of blushing, and now Divine Rose 2, in terms of the color, is going to give me more of that flushed effect. I don't have the new highlighter shades, but to complete the look, I will go in with Golden Nectar on the Paradise Glow side. And something about this formula to note is that it is very shiny, and because of the oil base, it does melt beautifully into the skin. It has a lovely texture when blended. You still can see, you know, my pores is because I haven't shaved in a while. And, you know, that's just the reality of my situation. It's fine. Going in with Divine Rose on, of course, the Divine Rose 2 side. And naturally, again, I just favor this texture over the Glow one. They're both amazing. This one, amazing. But there's just, I think, more of a refined finish for the gelée type of a formula. And the gold pink hue just meshes well with anything you apply this to, which again creates that lovely shading of like the golden pink, especially when you layer it over something pink. Now from this brief demo, I found that Divine Rose 2 and Paradise Glow are consistent with their counterparts in the original Divine Blush collection. Easy to blend, color rich, silky soft to the touch. Now, do you necessarily need Paradise Glow if you have Paradise Venus? I don't think so, simply because it's hard to decipher. Like, you saw the swatch, right? I don't think you're going to tell on somebody if it's Paradise Glow or Paradise Venus. I don't think so. Now I'm sure like, excuse me, how about Desert Orchid, ma'am? Well, here I swatched Desert Orchid alongside the shade found in Paradise Glow, and that lighter shade is a little more pinky, where Desert Orchid is a little more beige coppery. So yes, there is a slight difference, but to my point where if you wanted to create that gradient, naturally you would apply Desert Orchid on the cheeks and then Paradise Venus higher on the hollows. And here I applied Paradise Venus on one side and have Paradise Glow in the other. When I saw Paradise Glow in my bathroom mirror, it took on more of a bronzier hue, whereas Paradise Venus has a little more of that burnt hue to it. Maybe it's in my head, and as I said before, these are very nuanced shades, and if you are a different skin tone, they might matter in terms of what you think will be more appropriate of a shade for your complexion, if you wanted to go with the toastier Paradise Venus or the slightly more bronzy Paradise Glow. I cannot confirm, however, if the deeper shade in the Paradise Glow duo, however, is the same shade as Paradise Venus. But I know when mixed together, it does take on a more bronzier hue, where Paradise Venus is a little more toasty. So if you already have Paradise Venus, I think you're good. If you're lighter than me and you needed to use a lighter hand with Paradise Venus, then sure, maybe having this lighter shade on board will help kind of steer it to be less intense. That will be the only advantage. In terms of the colors, I think they're very similar. Same thing with the Divine Rose 2. Divine Rose 2, again, I don't think you can tell if I apply Cherish, Love Struck, or the Divine Rose 2 palette. Listen, they are beyond gorgeous. The embossing is great. I think it was very clever to include a different color on like the side and the flower side. The one color that I'm very interested in trying is Night Bloom, because it has that violet with like that fiery red shade, and I think that might be different from Electric Bloom. We'll see, I don't know. I wanted to order Venetian Orchid that day because, again, I think the violet will play a role in how it appears on the cheeks differently than what we might already have in our Divine Blush collection. I didn't pick that color up. Maybe I will eventually, but those are my thoughts at the moment. Again, I think they're fantastic products. They're consistent with what we've already used. Do you necessarily need to run and get this? I don't think so, especially if you are wondering about Paradise Glow. What I mentioned about maybe you wanting just a different color present to steer the intensity, sure. But if you're my complexion, you already have Paradise Glow, then you're fine with just Paradise Glow. So we have to now look out for the new highlighter shade and Night Bloom, which I cannot wait to receive, as well as Cosmic Coral. I think Cosmic Coral might have a different feel than Paradise Glow, maybe different from the shades that are already in the Divine Blush collection. So I will come back on here, but I wanted to hop on and talk about just these two shades because you have been asking me about the duos, what I think of them, and yeah, I don't think you need to rush and get them, especially if Pat McGrath ends up having another sale. Don't know if these will be on sale since they just released, but yes, I know the limited edition kind of makes us like a little on edge, but from what we've seen, I don't think these are going anywhere fast. And you know what? If they do, we'll survive. It's going to be okay, especially when we have a bunch of blush in our collection. If we already have a ton of the Divine blushes and blushes from other brands that we can mix and match and kind of make our own duo moments, I think that's a good route to take. And that is a wrap. Perhaps the shortest Pat McGrath video I have ever filmed. This is the last time it's happening. Hopefully we get to see a mothership soon. Maybe we get to see some type of a bronzer moment. I don't know. I know Mother loves the blush tones, and you know, you could go crazy with the different nuances that exist in like Rose world, in the different red, pink, coral, whatever. Again, I'm looking forward to trying the other shades because I think they might have a little bit of a different presentation than what I have now here in Paradise Glow and Divine Rose 2. Let me know, fam, if you picked up any of the Divine Blush Duos or the Skin Fetish Glow highlighters, what colors. I'm not sure when we're gonna get our PML packages. Maybe if you ordered from Sephora, you already received it. And if you have Night Bloom or Venetian Orchid, let us know down below how it went, how the colors look, if we already have it in our collections, okay? I'll see you down in those comments. And until then, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I will see you on here again with another review tutorial, Pat McGrath Divine Blush Duos video, or Mothership tutorial. You never know. Take care, and I will see you again soon.